Hey everyone, I'm Lino, living in China and learning English. Leftists cry, scream, cut their hair, smash TVs, break up with their boyfriends, and break up with their families on TikTok. Wow, these behaviors make me, who lives in a dictatorship, think freedom is crazy. In China, rightists like me who disagree with the government are called awaken in China. Remember, this is the little pink satire on us, on our worship of the Western democratic world. They think we are worshipping foreign things. You can often see little pinks saying on the internet, "Look, he has awakened again and reflected again." Many little pinks will echo the official statement that China's infrastructure is the best in the world. Look at our remote rural areas, there are high-speed railways, and look at our Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau bridge, but I think there should be more worthy places to spend money. There are still many places where people cannot enjoy basic education or even have enough food. Shouldn't we take care of them first? Why go into debt to build high-speed railways with few passengers? You American leftists are as unrealistic as little pinks. Shouldn't inflation and Social Security be more urgent? Is it more important to put tampons in the men's bathroom? Some extreme left-wing movements remind me of the limitations and risks of discussing politics in China. There, we are used to hiding our true personal thoughts to ensure safety. People usually only talk about harmless topics, and when it comes to sensitive political issues, even if they have different opinions in their hearts, they will choose to echo the mainstream view. Although this phenomenon seems to be very different from the left-wing movement in the United States, it essentially reflects a kind of self-censorship and social pressure. The difference is that the Chinese keep their mouths shut to avoid unnecessary risks. You can't even say that China's high-speed rail is not good. The American left, in the name of defending freedom, gradually deprives those who do not agree with their views of freedom. It seems that the result is the same. In China, if you make some remarks that are not in line with mainstream politics in public, you will soon find that the air around you becomes solemn, everyone's attitude gradually becomes silent and indifferent, and some people even choose to alienate you. You must be very patriotic, very supportive of the leaders, and very xenophobic, especially to the United States and Japan. In this country, ideological self-censorship is a necessary skill for a mature adult. There are similar phenomena in some left-wing movements in the United States. Those who do not support radical left-wing ideas often encounter the invasion of a cancel culture, are doxxed, boycotted, and even lose their jobs. In my opinion, this social environment has an Orwellian sense of absurdity. On the surface, it pursues justice and freedom as its banner, but in fact, it has become a new ideological despotism. Trump's victory this time confirmed that the silent majority does exist. In this world, political differences are everywhere. Every country has its own positions and values. As long as they are not extreme, I think these differences should be allowed to exist. However, I found that there seems to be a contradiction between the behavior of some left-wing movements and the ideas they advocate. I often don't understand why the left shouts for freedom, tolerance, and diversity on the one hand, but in actual actions it shows a strong exclusivity and radicalism, and even staged a frenzy similar to the Cultural Revolution period on many occasions. During the Cultural Revolution, it was the peak of China's anti-rightist movement and personality cult. Everyone had to worship Mao and be loyal to Mao. There could not be any voice against Mao. At that time, it was normal for sons to report their fathers and students to criticize their teachers. There is a section in the novel The Three-Body Problem that describes the scene of the Cultural Revolution. It is very exciting and worth recommending. I remember the story my grandmother told me, which impressed me deeply. In that era, because a portrait of Chairman Mao was damaged due to lack of proper protection, her neighbor was taken away and disappeared from then on. This kind of extreme behavior caused by ideological issues was a normal thing in that era. In today's America, this situation seems to be happening again in a different form. Although the left claims to be the defender of social justice, when the election results do not meet their expectations, they show a loss of control and irrationality that is astonishing. Whether it is cutting hair, smashing TVs, or breaking up with family members because of political views, it makes people feel that this is a kind of a religious fanaticism. In particular, the recently popular G4B movement, no sex with men, no giving birth, no dating men, and no marriage with men, seems to have taken an extreme anti-traditional stance. This comprehensive rejection of men does not seem to be pursuing equality and respect, but to completely overthrow traditional family and gender concepts. This makes me wonder what the pursuit behind this movement is. Is it equality or a rebellious new despotism? A movement against conservatives by being more conservative. If you don't have sex, how can you have an abortion? The woke staying abstinent? Sounds like exactly what your country needs. The pursuit of diversity should not be simply opposing one side, but being able to truly tolerate different voices and lifestyles. Are you against all men just because you didn't get a female president? Do you think South Korea's low fertility rate is due to the 4B movement? China doesn't have a 4B movement, and its fertility rate is also falling like crazy. Besides, would a falling fertility rate be good for the United States? To bring in more illegal immigrants? So, when I see these extreme behaviors and the radical performances of some people in the left-wing movement, I feel confused and even ironic. Is the idea advocated by the left intended to build a more inclusive society, or has it unconsciously become another ideological dictatorship? When anti-traditionalism becomes a new dogma, has it deviated from its original intention? When you shave your head, why don't you think about whether it will offend cancer patients or people with hair loss? This will not make America great again. I'm Lino, living in China and learning English. See you next time.